what we're dealing with now is this pandemic that is global, the scope of which us adults are having extraordinary trouble navigating. How do you go to that relevance and that cultural relevance at a moment where, I guess the big question is, how much of this in real stark terms do we bring into our kids as part of their learning experience? And where is the point that a parent tries to shield, especially with a kid who may have a lot of trauma in their day-to-day life, even before this started?
Yeah, the questions around home life and community life and trauma are really pronounced right now, because many of us acknowledge the trauma in our own families and our own communities. This is traumatic for a lot of people. It's not only traumatic for children and students and their parents, but also for teachers and educators, because we're all experiencing this across the globe. There is an opportunity in this because of the intense attention to what's happening and the effort to problem solve. And there's so many venues that are engaged in problem solving right now. We acknowledge that the network of problem solving is what's really going to bring us forward. But it also requires transparency and communication. And we're seeing struggles across the globe in terms of who's being transparent and how are we distinguishing between fact and fiction. And what do we know in terms of the practices and the information that we have that is real versus noise. This is real critical thinking and real problem solving and an evaluation of what should we be attending to, because there's so much right now. What should we be attending to that is really going to be helpful and move us forward? And there's actually a lot of scholarship around this, around helping young people and adults distinguish between fact and fiction, and then what should we hold on to in order to move forward. Particularly in students or in communities of color, where we see that existing disparities in health access and healthcare, for example, are leading to disparities in outcomes because of the pandemic. That's real, and that's hurting some communities at a much higher level than it is hurting others.